I am going to say this with as much love as I can possibly muster. White women, your lack of cultural and social knowledge makes y'all so easy to be played. I just saw this man play this white woman like a fiddle. Okay, let me show you how this goes down via story time of what I saw play out in this cafe. So I'm currently in Phuket for my birthday. By the time I'm posting this, I will no longer be here. But so I'm at this resort, and I was like, okay, let me just like wander around. One of the people here strongly recommended a cafe. I said, okay, let me go check out this cafe. So I'm out there checking out this cafe, and it's a tiny little spot, so I can hear everything. Is what I'm saying. I've got my headphones in. And initially I was listening to the comment section with Drew Afawalu, but then I heard some cackling, some snort cackling happening right next to me. And I said, click. So what was happening? There was a white woman and a man of color next to her. I will not be sharing what color because at this point it does not matter. Now, the conversation that they were having wasn't giving that they entered into, like, where I'm at is very much like it's a big spot for weddings, it's a big spot for couples. I heard that this particular resort has a lot of like friends coming here, but it's not huge for solo travelers. So I'm not entirely sure how these two met. But the conversation was giving, oh, we just like kind of met. This might be like a first date situation, or they both just happen to be at this cafe, right? And she's a pretty lady, and just a man of color. Also, I have no idea what's happening outside of this villa. If you hear background noise, just ignore it. So they're talking, and they were talking before I even entered in, but I'm seated for about 10 minutes before he starts talking about how difficult racism is and how much it's personally affected him. And she just goes, oh my God, really? And mind you, the conversation that they were having just before this, he was asking her like, oh, so around how long are you going to be able to be here for? And then she was talking about like visa issues. So it sounded where she was just like, oh yeah, like with my visa. And she basically like, okay. She basically explained what a Schengen visa is. And for those of you who don't know, it is an incredibly common visa that pretty much, like if you travel to Europe, you know what a Schengen visa is. It's basically like a 3-month or a 90-day stay that you can have. And she woman-splained what it was to this man. And he was just like, wow, wow. Meanwhile, I'm listening to this man. I'm like, you know damn well what she's talking about. Don't wow her. And then that was when I was like, oh my God, he's about to play this white woman. And I want to say maybe 3 to 5 minutes after that, he starts talking about, yeah, like racism, and oh, my life has been so hard because, oh, just so much discrimination. And she's just, oh my God, really? Really? I didn't know this was going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then she starts moving closer to him, body proximity. And he's just like, oh yeah, moving a little bit closer. I'm like, oh, like a fiddle. No more than 10 minutes later, he's talking about how his mom used to beat him. And she, at this point, is just rubbing his arm. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that this happened. Like, oh, culturally, it must be so hard for you. Well, I just don't know what to say. I'm just so sorry that that's what you grew up with. He's like, yeah, like between that and the racism, like there's just been a lot that I've been going through. Fast forward, not even fast forward. A couple minutes later, she was talking about a movie that like really helped to uplift her spirits whenever she was feeling sad. I can't remember the name of the movie, but she was like, do you know this actor? Like, I don't know, he's a little niche, but like all this stuff it just makes me smile. Like, have you ever heard of Jack Black? And he goes, oh my goodness, like that name sounds kind of familiar, but like I would love to, like, do you have any recommendations? Maybe we could watch it together. Hook, line, sinker, she's done. By the time that I left, she was basically in that man's lap in a cafe. And I have not heard, she laughed in a way that shocked her. Where she, like, laughed, snorted, and then looked around. This is a tiny cafe. And she goes, oh my gosh, I think I'm being a little loud. And he goes, no, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about white ladies. I want you to know that if you are not culturally competent, there are men out there that will play you and your ignorance like a fiddle to get straight into them panties. Now, first of all, who's to say whether or not this man's mother actually beat him or not? But let's say that, because if she didn't, that is hilarious. But like, even if she did, if this was if this was something that he was sharing to somebody of his own culture or of a similar cultural experience, it would just be another it would just be another talking point. It wouldn't necessarily be a oh my god, I had no idea. This, and I'm not saying that this is for every mixed couple where the woman, a mixed hetero couple where the woman partner is white. I'm not saying that it's everybody, but I am saying that it's a lot of y'all. Where men from other cultures will see your naivety, your ignorance, your lack of information about how other cultures function, about things that are sure, like, mind you, there's no such thing as a culture that does not come with its baggage. But they will see your lack of information and go, oh, I'm going to be such a sob story. And she's just going to slob on my knob and be so sad. Ladies, your lack of information makes you a target, makes you a blaring, blinking target to men like this. By and large, Black women in general are too culturally informed because we have to be. Mind you, we don't have to know the nuances of every culture or of every ethnicity, but because of how much we have experienced within our own culture, regardless of where you sit in the diaspora, there's a lot that people can't play with us with. That would not work on a Black woman. Whatever I just saw at a cafe would not work on a Black woman. Okay, let me edit that for a minute. That would not work on a Black woman who was raised in proximity to other Black people. That would not work on a Black woman who was raised in Black culture, regardless of where that sits diasporically, within the diaspora. You don't want to be a target. You don't want to be a waving flag that says, manipulate me. Get informed. Get informed. And not just informed as in like history, as in, reading books about the past that are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. Those are important. But also get informed. One of the easiest way to be informed about what is happening in the contemporary time, in the here and now, how diverse is your friend group? That people keep forgetting that information can be passed from friend to friend. Depending on how, in my mind, Shayna, thoughts, I feel like the smartest people have the most diverse friend groups. Because even in the conversations that they have to have, the amount of different perspectives and different kinds of information about different upbringings and cultures and experiences that is ingrained in just the way that people would have to talk if you are in a diverse friend group. If your friend group is not diverse, to me, that says something about intelligence levels, but that's just me. And let me be even more specific. If you have no marginalized people in your friend group, because you could have a friend group that is full of only Black people, full of only Black women, and that is going to cover so many cultural experiences on its own. And in the very least, somebody's going to sit you down and say, now listen, Rebecca, don't talk to that man no more. But and who's to say how many non-white friends that this lady has? But I'm like, with the quickness with which that man was able to find her and hook, line, and sinker, I'm just saying, white ladies, be careful out there. It's wild.